When you think of first-person shooters, one of the first names most people will say is Call of Duty, and for good reason. It's one of the world's most popular gaming franchises, famous for its campaigns, online culture, and zombies. Problem is, it fell off after Call of Duty Black Ops 3. There's a long list of reasons why it's fallen off over the years, and today I'll explain some of the major problems to show just how far this FPS king has fallen. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Black Ops 6 recently released, and it's a perfect example of how bad things have gotten. This game's release was lukewarm, with a mid-campaign, bland maps, lackluster zombies, and the most aggressive monetization system, which would make Fortnite and World of Warcraft go,
"Hey, no, stop, just calm down."
This type of aggressive monetization isn't new, with the same if not worse tactics used for Warzone. This has become a major problem as it's heavily apparent that both Activision and Treyarch want all your money, but have also ruined skill-based rewards. For example, back in the original Modern Warfare 3, you would earn title cards and emblems from playing the game alone. This meant that you saw a cool looking emblem in game and thought, yo, I want that. So you'd look it up, find the requirements, and then after you beat it, you could show it off in game. This made us feel rewarded as the time we put into the game, and players would notice and respect it. Or tell us to touch grass. Fast forward to current times, 9 times out of 10, you'll see a cool looking emblem or title, and know that you'll have to pony up the cash for it. Some of these bundles are also absurdly priced, but then again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This brings me to my next point. COD is able to get away with selling these mid-games and absurd cosmetics because of the Cod Cycle. If you don't know what that is, let me elaborate. First, the game gets announced through social media. Streamers and YouTubers get people hyped through the leaked gameplay, alpha footage, blah blah blah. We then get an open or closed beta, sometimes both. Gamers notice some issues, but the devs promise to fix them. The game releases still with some issues, but gets reviews and people are happy with a new toy. Then the honeymoon period wears off. A divide appears in the community with one side saying the game is fine and the other saying it's the worst thing ever. No! This then goes back and forth for a couple months, and most CODs die off, or in very rare cases, get a second win through DLC. A good example is the Blops Zombie Chronicles DLC, which came out a couple years after the game released. It's truly crazy how this is still a thing, but when you filled your audience with mostly casual players, it really doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. The next thing that's gotten out of control is the skill-based matchmaking and how vicious it's become. From the jump, skill-based matchmaking has always been a hot button topic, splitting gamers right down the middle, either being for or against it. Personally, I do think it has its place in competitive games, but must be implemented carefully. If not done so, it'll alienate the dedicated fanbase, which is exactly what's happening in Black Ops 6. For reference, it's been a very popular topic, which if any player manages to have a great game, the skill-based matchmaking will then put you in a lobby where you have to sweat your ring off to be competitive. This will not only deter people from playing the game, but also give rise to people creating Smurf accounts. This also directly then feeds into my next problem, which is the balancing of weapons in COD PvP. In every COD, there is a busted weapon that dominates the rest, leading players to having to use it. This becomes the meta, which makes the rest of the weapons feel redundant until patched. I'm sure all Modern Warfare 2019 players will remember the absolute tyranny of the 7.25 shotgun, or the infamous AK-12 being able to shoot through entire maps with armor-piercing rounds. Thing is, after the patch, normally a streamer will figure out the next meta and the cycle continues. Joy. Also, side note, what's up with the change in unlocking weapons? We've gone from using one base weapon to unlock the rest in its class, or through levels, to having to use one weapon from another class to unlock an attachment, or do 15 360 no-scopes pointing true north to unlock a weapon. Like, what?
Hey, you're finally awake.
Anyway, this leads to COD's biggest weakness, which is its popularity. This franchise is so popular, anything and everything they make is put under a microscope due to how many eyes are on it. This popularity also leads to most PvP streamers covering the new game as its easy views, and once again, highlights its issues and also introduces casual fans to the game, feeding that cycle. I mean, players were so desperate to play Black Ops 6, they were changing their region to New Zealand to get early access to the game. Honestly, gaming culture as a whole has gone through a paradigm shift lately. Gaming has never been more popular, and with the rise of streaming as a lucrative job, this has caused an explosion in streamers all trying to chase the bag with games like Call of Duty. This means more players are playing longer, heightening that skill curve, and probably the reason why the skill-based matchmaking is so strict. The average Joe is not going to have the time or the patience to practice that aim in aim lab, or watch a YouTube video on the new meta or the tips and tricks of how to increase your KD. All they want to do is play the game for fun, but instead have to walk through a minefield of microtransactions, sweaty lobbies due to increased skill-based matchmaking, and broken weapons. Call of Duty really has fumbled its last couple games, and it's showing it's well past its prime. With the new gaming culture feeding that Cod Cycle more than ever, it's highly unlikely it'll ever return to form. It's truly a shame, as most veterans will have amazing experiences and fond memories of playing peak campaigns, such as Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, or having an absolute blast in OG zombie maps. Remember when that prestige symbol next to your name used to mean something? Call of Duty sucks now.